everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to your class. Today's class is a full body Pilates class. You will need something to use as a hand weight. So I just have a 1 kilo weight here. You can use a can of food. You can use your laundry detergent if you have a small dumbbell. Anything that's 1 to 2 kilo will be great. So with that, let's get started. Bring yourself down onto your back. And let's just take a few minutes to connect here with your breath. So bring your hands to your ribs. Take a nice deep breath in and let it out. Just allow yourself to arrive and be present. Feeling how you allow the breath to fill you up, not holding it back or restricting it or getting shallow. Letting it take up all the space and time it needs and wants. Integrating your core now. So as you exhale, your ribs come together. Draw your belly in. Feel a narrowing at your waist. Pelvic floor lifts. Inhale, everything expands out. Exhale, feel it pull in together. 2 more breaths here. Feeling your shoulders release underneath. On your last one, you can bring your hands down by your sides. And then from there, leave your left foot on the floor and start with your right foot and right leg. Lift it up off to hover on the mat. Inhale, pressing out. Exhale, flex your foot, draw it back in. Inhale, press. Exhale, pull. Now I want you to really imagine as you pull it in that you're drawing your heel toward your sits bone. Get your hamstring activated. Checking in for that neutral pelvis, of course, maintaining that throughout the duration of the class. Now the next time your leg is in, you're going to bring it up to tabletop and then hover it back down. Exhale, tabletop, and hover. Just taking this first little bit here to connect right to your center. So find the work exhaling from your core and using your core as you lift your leg. Inhaling, lowering it back down. Now we're adding in the left. So it's right, left, lower, lower. Up, up, lower, lower. Now if this is too much for you, then stay in the single leg version this time and switching over to your left leg doing the lifting. Or you can have your feet tapped down in the middle. Controlling from your center. Ribs are together, check your belly button is coming in. Your abs aren't blasting out in your pants. Good, place your feet down on the next one. And now leave your left foot hovering off. Inhale, pressing it out. Exhale, pull back. Inhale, press. Exhale, heel to your sits bone. So by now you should be starting to feel lots of work happening in your abdominals. Hopefully you've found that connection to your hamstring from your pelvic floor. And really feeling that you're starting to fire up from the inside out. 2 more here. And then plant both of your feet down. Bring your hands up behind to support your neck. Doing some work for your obliques. Exhale, folding over. Coming back to the center. Exhale, folding over. Finding that work as you feel like you're bringing your ribs back behind you off of the mat. And bringing your armpit towards your opposite thigh. This crossover of your body is what we're after. That involves your oblique abdominals, which help you do the twisting and crossing actions. Finding that strong core work, working right from your center. Now this time you're going to come up and extend your arm out. Imagine that you're being pulled across. Coming down, same thing, other side. So when you lift your arm up and send it across, imagine someone is pulling your hand and really getting that work where you're peeling your ribs off from behind. Exhale, drawing your ribs in, still keeping that neutral pelvis, deep abdominals like we set up at the beginning. One more other side. And then bring yourself down. Hug your knees in, just have a little pause there. And then reaching your arms up overhead, lengthen out through your legs. We're gonna flow through your roll up. So inhale to prepare, and then exhale as you lift your arms up. Draw your belly in, peeling yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Reaching forward, draw your belly in, coming down in reverse, so rounding your spine as you come and press yourself back down to the mat. So you can continue on doing this at your own pace. If you need help coming up, then you can place your hands down or you can grab behind your hamstrings. And likewise, when you're coming down, if it really grabs in your lower back or it feels like you just clunk down, then place your hands on the mat and help ease yourself down. Remember to use your breath here. Exhale, ribs together, belly button draws in, pelvic floor lifts, peeling up, pressing forward. This time you're going to stay up, and then you're going to bring yourself around to your 4-point kneeling, picking up your weight, whatever you're choosing to use, and of course you can do all of this without a weight as well. Coming to your 4-point stance, so your knees are lined up underneath your hips, palms underneath your shoulders, dumbbell or weight starts in your left hand, lift it up, open, and close. So checking here that you're maintaining that neutral spine. So there's no shifting around at your center. We're just working your tricep here, doing elbow flexion and extension. Ground down through the palm on the floor. And of course, finding the work from your center. Pick your belly up from underneath. 3, 2, last one, hold it back, lift, lower. Continuing on doing tricep work. Really finding that strong engagement. Keeping your head lengthened, or neck lengthened out. So not letting it dangle down here. Really find that length through your neck. It's part of your spine. 3, 2, last one. Now press it forward, pull it back. Press and pull. Checking in with your core, finding that you're working like there's a suction cup on the inside of your belly button, pulling it up. Now stay doing it as you are, or if you wish, you add the opposite leg. So you press it out, pull it in. Again, narrowing at your waist, really staying strong. Last 3, 2, last one. Excellent. Okay, come down now onto your right side. So the dumbbell or weight is going to stay in your left hand, and you're going to come all the way down onto your right side with your head in your hand. Set your legs up so that they are bent with your heels back along the back edge, in line with your pelvis. So you check for your neutral pelvis, picking your belly up underneath, giving that little mouse hole, and then holding on to your weight, your arm stays in by your side, open, close. So just doing some work here for your shoulder. As the weight comes down, it stays parallel to the floor. So we're not just letting it drop down here. Really get that control, resisting to open, resisting to close. Now we're going to add some work for your glutes. So as the dumbbell comes up, opening, closing down. Now your pelvis needs to stay in its neutral position. So sometimes the tendency can be to do this because we're opening both. But really try to get curious and engage in your body and see what your pelvis is doing and try to maintain that neutrality. Very good. Last 3, 2, last one. Now weight comes up overhead, lengthen out your top leg, and then pull them together and press. Pull and press. This is essentially working your obliques is what we're trying to do. So we're trying to fold right there at your waist. Still finding that strong work. So exhale as they come in. Inhale to open. Last 3, 2, last 1. Very good. Now bring yourself around. We're going to come to a seated position. Hold on to the dumbbell or your weight or your can of food or your laundry detergent. Start from sitting up straight. Now I want you to tuck your tailbone underneath, draw your belly in, find that work from your center. We're coming through a rounded spine here, and then you're rotating side to side. So checking that your core is staying involved, not just that you're swinging around like this, really feeling that you're rotating from your center to either side. Now the intention for the weight isn't that it's super heavy and it's making you strain and struggle. It's just to add that little bit of extra challenge. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Excellent. Okay, come on up. Come back to your 4-point kneeling. Now this time you have the weight in your right hand. So taking a second to set yourself up, knees lined up underneath your hips, palm underneath your shoulder. Weight lifts up, pressing. Open, close. So I really encourage you to check in and do a body scan regularly during your session. Find out what your core is doing. Zone into your mind. Find out if you're getting distracted or losing focus. Hold the arm up, lift, and lower. It's easy to get into our doing brain where we just want things to be over and we're counting reps. Instead, switch out of that passive mode and find your curious brain that lets you dig deeper into your body. 3, 2, last 1. Now press and pull. By now you're probably finding that even just 1 kilo of weight or your can of food gets heavy. So good, guys. Keep going. I can't see you, but I know you're doing an awesome job. Now add your leg if you wish, pressing it out and pull. Strong core work from underneath. Keep that neutral spine. 3, 2, last 1. Yes, so good. Okay, now come down onto your left side. Head into your hand. Set up with your clam position, so your heels are along the back edge. Neutral pelvis. Picking it up underneath. Lifting up, holding onto the weight. Open and close. So just starting here with your shoulder work. Again, zoning in, seeing what's happening. Are you allowing your hips to drop back? Are you allowing gravity to do the work as the weight comes down? Now stay as you are, or if you would like, add your legs. So as you come up, pressing your heel in, opening, closing. Really good, guys. Stay in it. Stay committed. Remember how strong and capable you are. Three, 2, last 1. Now weight comes up overhead, leg lengthens out, bringing them in, and press. So really get that sense of folding at your waist as you bring your elbow down and knee up. And that's a little bit more work on your part because you could just go up and down like you're kicking your leg and not really get those obliques involved. So really think about that folding work. Doing an awesome job. 3, 2, last one. Yes, very well done. Okay, set your dumbbell down, bring yourself up. Come to a comfortable seated position, rolling out through your shoulders. And then extend your arms out in front. I'm going to switch this way so you can see me better. Extend your arms out in front and rolling through your shoulders so like you're trying to roll them. So you're going to elevate and then retract your scapulae and then depress and then protract. So it's like you're doing 4 separate movements and then you're just linking them all together. And this is really good work for your shoulders. Switch direction, helping mobilize them. And we've just done some work with your shoulders, so it's a really good thing to follow up with. From there, bring yourself to sit with your legs out in front. And you want them to be a little bit wider than parallel. Not quite to the edges of your mat, but not quite parallel together. Extend your arms out in front. Sit yourself up tall. So imagine that you're the letter L. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, draw your belly in, folding or flexing forward through your spine, rounding, and then sitting yourself back up tall. So the idea here is that you use your core to fold yourself forward, rounding through your spine behind, sitting back up tall. Exhale, folding, and returning. 2 more here like this. Really try to get deep from your abdominals. Last one. And then bring yourself back up. You're going to come to your Zed Sit position. So your feet and legs are going to be to the right side, and your weight is going to be in your right hand. Of course, you can do all of this without your weight as well. So come down onto your left forearm, pressing across, pulling back. Now, as you're lying here, or over to your side, I should say, I want you to try to imagine that you're folding on your bottom waist, and that you're pressing your arm across and then intentionally pulling it. Your bottom shoulder is pulling down towards your feet, not popping up towards your ear. So lots of extra connection that you need to be thinking about here. 3 more. 2. Last one. Very good. Now we're going to come back to your seated position. Same thing as before, knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. Leave the dumbbell in your right hand. Extend your arms out. This time we're adding rotation. Exhale, rotating down, press, and return to tall. So when you come back up, feel that you restack your spine. And as you come down, you work through your obliques because we're adding that rotation. Now, if this gets too much on your shoulder or your back, then get rid of the weight and do all of this without. 3 more on this side. 2. Last one. And then switch the weight over to the other side. Same thing. Just gonna move over here so I don't hit the wall. Starting with your arms out straight. Exhale as you fold down and return. So as you start to get fatigued here, you may notice that your lower back wants to turn on or your shoulders elevate. Just get really curious and intentional about all of those things, not letting any of them start to happen without your awareness. Our body and brain have these natural pathways that they like to take when things get hard, and we don't want that. 2 more. Last one. Very good. Now leave your dumbbell in the left hand. Switch yourself over now so that your feet and legs are to the left side. Sit yourself up tall to start. So find that you're setting the crown of your head to the ceiling, tailbone down towards the floor, down onto your right forearm. Get that sense of pulling with your shoulder coming towards your feet, and then pressing it across, pulling it over. So just coming through some lateral flexion here, that's where we get to fold your spine to the side. And adding the extra challenge of the weight. Now, of course, like I said before, you can do this without. And if this does not feel good for you to be down, you can do it from upright and just press across and pull. Exhale as you press over, finding that work right from your center. 3 more. 2. Last one. Yes, very good. Okay, you can set your weight down and then bring yourself down onto your stomach. We're going to do a little bit of spinal extension work. So we just did work in lateral flexion for your spine. And now we're going to do extension, which is back bends. So bring your fingers and hands so that you can form a triangle shape. Place it on the mat. And you're going to lengthen out your legs, tops of your feet on the floor. My legs are together. And then bring your forehead onto your triangle that you just created. And make sure it's positioned in a place where you can have your neck lengthened. So not way up here or way here. From there, shoulders come down and back behind you. So really checking in that they're connected from your serratus. And then on your exhale, drawing your belly in, peeling yourself up. Forearms are going to lift off slightly, and then stick yourself back down. Now, I do not care how high up you can come, but I do care that you use your core and your back extension muscles to help you do it. So if you're coming up just by doing this, then that is not what we want. And so really try to find some work from your center. Feeling your belly button lift up off the floor underneath of you. And ribs come together underneath. Remember, your head and neck are an extension of your spine, so not letting them bop up into the air. Finish the one that you're on, and then take your legs a little bit wider. Flex your feet and bring your legs up to so that your feet are pointed towards the ceiling. Now for this one, you can have one cheek onto the mat. And what I want you to do is imagine that you're trying to stamp your heels up on the ceiling and then release them down. Pressing up and releasing. Now this is glute and hamstring work, but I don't want you to feel it really a lot in your lower back. So find that you're squeezing right where your hamstring and glute meet to press up. Now you can play with the position of your feet. It might work better for you to have your feet together pressing up or further apart. 3 more. 2. Last one. Very good. Then just leave your legs down. Press yourself up. Coming up into your child's pose. Letting yourself come to that lovely counter flexion work. And then from there, we're going to come to your kneeling position. So you can be high kneeling, you can be low kneeling, you can do this seated or you can do it wide, whatever kind of feels good for you. Now you're going to have your weight, you're going to extend it out of the front. We're going to do spinal rotation. So I'm actually going to take this a little bit from the side so you can see better. Your weight is there to help you keep your arms in the same spot, so they're going to stay the same distance apart from each other. And then you're going to exhale, As you rotate to one side, back through the center, exhale, rotate to the other side. So we're adding spinal rotation here, or doing spinal rotation here, using your core. So I want you to really imagine that it is only this part of your body that is rotating. So not your hips, not your legs, they're not moving. Your arms are here. Exhale, rotate. Inhale back to the center, exhale, rotate. It's strong work to have it come from your core. Connect right from your center. Draw your ribs together. Release your shoulders. Pelvic floor lifts. Narrowing at your waist. One more either side. Then take the dumbbell, pulling it in, pressing it out. And as you do that, I want you to really find the work from your shoulders behind you. So imagine that you're squeezing your shoulder blades together like if your palms were pressing in. That's the same as what I want you to feel in your shoulder blades. So get that work right from behind, not just pressing your arms in and out like this. Connect from your serratus behind you, draw your belly in, all the way from your center. Good, stay in it. Inhale to press out, exhale to pull in. Last 3, 2, last 1. Very good, now bring yourself around. Take your feet and legs so that they're lengthened out. Reach forward, holding onto your weight. Roll yourself down, 1 vertebrae at a time. And then once you're down there, you're going to set up into your bridge and make sure that you have enough space overhead to lift your arms up with the weight. So for your bridge, we're going to come through your spinal articulation. So you posterior tilt, peel yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time. And then peel yourself down, sticking down like a sticker 1 vertebrae at a time. And we're going to do that with the integration of your weight. So here we go. Posterior tilt. Draw your belly in, peeling up. And as you do that, lifting up overhead. Controlling from your core. And then sticking yourself back down. Controlling from your core. Now, if it is enough for you to focus just on the spinal articulation and your core activation and you don't want to use the weight, totally fine. So I really encourage you as you do this to imagine that your ribs are coming together, not that they're pressing out to the ceiling, especially as you reach the top. Connecting with your breath to help you. Exhaling to press down and to peel up. Heels press into the mat like you are trying to pull them towards your sits bones, and that's going to give you your hamstring activation. Last one here. Excellent, John. Now you can set the weight to the side. Spread your feet and legs apart a little bit. Take your hands down by your sides. The start is the same. So you exhale, posterior tilt, peeling yourself up. This time when you're up there, really checking that you're pressing your heels down to get that connection into your hamstring. And then left leg stays planted, right leg lifts up, bicycling. Keeping a neutral pelvis, keeping your ribs together, core is engaged. 2 more here. And then planting it down, switching over. So ground down on that right side, bicycling around. This is lots of work from your core. Feel that you're drawing your belly in, ribs together, narrowing at your waist. 2 more here on this side. Stay in it, almost there. And the last one. Excellent. Plant it down, articulating your way back down. Hug your knees into your chest, gently rocking from side to side. And then take your hands behind your hamstrings, leaving your legs in your tabletop position. Come into a rounded spine as you draw your belly in. Legs start bent, and then exhale, lengthening out, and bend. So this is a little bit of deep core work here for you. Exhale, lift your pelvic floor as your legs lengthen to help you with your hamstrings, or to allow your hamstrings to help you, I should say. Pressing your spine down in and using that extra little bit of pressure with your hands into your legs to lengthen up. Very good. 3 more. 2. Now hold up on your last one, scissors. So both legs stay straight. Find the work from your core, drawing your belly in. A little bit of strong ab work here for you. Use your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Excellent. Yes, roll yourself down. Hug your knees in, gently rocking from side to side. And then reach your arms up, lengthen out your whole body. Feel how great it feels from the work that we did on your core and your spine. Breathing in and breathing out. And then just take your hands to your ribs, bend your knees and place your feet on the floor. And breathe in again, feeling that really great expansion of your ribs. And then breathing out and feeling them come together. So this, we're finishing now with this breathing the same way that we started. Because I want you to just take a second and notice if there's anything that feels different for you now compared to when you first began. And I encourage you to really be proud of being in your body and working hard. And when it feels good, or you've made a change, or you notice something, notice that. Compliment yourself. Be happy with the progress that you made and the work that you've done. Stay there doing your breathing for as long as you would like, or as long as feels good. And then remember to give yourself a positive compliment at the end. Let me thank you for being here and showing up. Well done. See you soon.